every event until he died. All the steps in my life, he died in '84, but he was a part of.
When we talk about those steps, of course, he had a family, and the son that everybody knows is ML Jr. He was born in 1929. What was your age relationship?
I was 9 years younger than ML Jr. So I was a little brother kind of thing, you know. Just somebody you had around the house and kicked around, you know, that kind of thing. And AD was 8 years older. Now AD was I mean, they were both, I don't know, it was kind of, ML Jr., I mean, he was ML Jr. And you know when I really realized that he was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.? When I was a senior in high school. What I think that was 1950, no, it was 55, I think it was. He came to Atlanta. Every year, the NAACP would hold around the country in places the Emancipation Proclamation Day, and they would have a service talking about civil rights and featuring a speaker. So ML Jr. Was the speaker. He was in Montgomery then, and they brought him back. All that, the boys boycott, all that had begun, and the world fame had become everyday kind of thing with us. And so I went early with Willie Dean Moore. She's one of my neighbors in the project. So we went down early to Big Bethel, AME Church. It was the largest church then for seating capacity. So we went down there, and we went early and got up in the balcony and sat up in the center so you can look down. It had the kind of the round balcony down there. And there were policemen everywhere. And people were jammed in, people trying to get into the church. And there were old people, people old like our grandmother kind of thing then, sitting up in the balcony, and a lot of them were crying. And the organist was playing music, and they were playing, you know, background music and everything. And when it came time, they got closer, the place was jam-packed, they had all these photographers and people there. It was as though these people saw him as Moses. He was coming home. All the posters around town had Martin Luther King Jr., High Noon. I said, I wish I could have kept one of those. But see, I was one of these little children who was very precocious, and young folk, I observed everything, because my wife would say I still do. But it just was, listen, I guess I bring this thought to a close. But when they came out, and we stood and we sang, and the service started and everything. And before that, Reverend King and Mrs. King Sr., Coretta, they'd all come out from right around the side of the pulpit and sat down right in the center, in the front, right up in there. And so after we were standing singing something, I don't remember exactly what it was, but down under me, underneath the balcony, we were up over the center aisle, we were upstairs and looking down. Policeman came through, and ML, they brought him in. He was coming down the aisle, and people were crying, and it was a very emotional kind of thing. And for me then, he became Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It's kind of, you know, it was just ML. And I've been down to Montgomery, Reverend King, and so forth and so on, but it was just at home things are different.
Yes, at home things are different. I'm going to make you tell a story that you told me earlier off camera,
Right.
because I think it's funny.
Okay.
Okay. And I'll let him go ahead and change the battery on that light. Yeah, get that backlight on there. Okay. The story is about MLK Jr.'s humor, and the fact that you used to, because he did trust you as before fame, or BF, okay, you were able to ride it. Tell me about this game called Dog.
Oh, that was not him. That was his daddy.
That was his daddy.
Yeah, the
Oh.
dog game.
Okay, well, which
He
sport
taught him too. But now Oh, I could tell you many funny things about ML, but I'll tell you once. I'll tell you more. During the time he would come back to home with the Ebenezer.
Okay.
Okay.
Put your
Okay, let me
next
see.
down and say that
Okay,
again.
wait. Let me get this down.
Okay.
During the time when he had come back to Ebenezer as co-pastor with his father, well, this group of people, these churches, this church conferences now had wanted Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to come up to South Carolina. I think it was into South Carolina one Sunday afternoon, and so he had been. He said, "I've been promising these people that I was going to go up there, you know." So they arranged to have somebody fly him, and Ralph Abernathy went with him, and that's on that Sunday afternoon. So he had. So after I learned about this after it was over. So when they got to the place, he said everything was so emotional. That people, these a lot of country people, rural, and they were crying and it was just celebration. They couldn't believe. This is what he erupted. All of this kind of thought from people. I mean, this is the way it always erupted that way anyway. But so he said they got this church where it was, and they'd been singing and shouting and everything. And he said, I hadn't even spoken. But what really got it was they had his trusted lieutenant, Dr. Ralph David Abernathy. The folks just yelling all, you couldn't hardly hear what they were saying. So when they introduced Ralph, they did all this big introduction to Ralph, so Ralph got up to present his friend and brother, Dr. Martin Luther King. So Ralph got there. He said, folk were just shouting. He said so Ralph said he couldn't hardly hear. So he said, ML got up and said, I never thought this. So he got up and said, Dr. Martin Luther King. He said he knew what he was doing. That was Ralph. And so he said, I never thought my best friend would get up and call me Martha Luther. Martha Luther. No, but I mean there was always so many things, and there was we used to laugh about everything, and he got that from his mother basically, and who was such a special person, and but she could always make you laugh, but she knew how to hold hers. So we'd all be sitting there looking like good dupes, laughing, but she'd be looking at
You have a sad story about meeting his body, Martin Luther King Jr.'s body. Can you tell me about that?
Give me a second.
Okay, no problem.
Well, I didn't have my key. I'll use this for a minute. I'll show you
Okay,
something.
that's
Wait a
fine.
minute. I
You
need that.
want the water again?
No. I have my car key. I wanted to show you. I want to use it when I tell you.
Okay.